Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Little Reader's house. I'm the Little Reader. You're in my house where you're so very welcome. Get cozy, get comfy, grab yourself a little cup of tea. Get cozy, get comfy, and have a little chat with me. Yeah, we just wrote that. Copyright, nobody. Unless you want it. It's all yours. Oh, we're channeling in spirit like we do. What does that even mean, to channel in spirit? Okay, here we go. Oh, look at my rock. Danbarite. I've talked about it being a white light before. A white light. It's also synonymous with the present moment, spirit. It's also synonymous with your awareness. Now, there are two ways of perceiving your reality. Within those two ways fall many variances, nuance, many variations. That's the English I was looking for, darling. Many variations fall within those two ways, but there are two ways that are relevant to the collective today. Perceiving the present moment through the mind and perceiving the present moment through the heart. And this distinction becomes important when beautiful souls are interested in knowing how they're perceiving the present moment. Slow down. When we perceive the present moment through the mind, whether we are in a moment of action, you're welcome for the soundtrack, or whether we're in a moment of stillness. When we perceive the present moment through the mind, there is a very obvious filter on the sensory feedback that we're receiving and the internal feedback that we're receiving. So if we are in mental mode, we may say we're present right now. I'm so present right now. And you could be perceiving the present moment. You're looking around, taking it all in. But you know you're in the mental space when judgments are involved. And when there is any question about the relevance of that present moment to your past or to your future. The mind being a portal to the realm of half forms. So we're always like, it's my mind. It's not. It's your whole. You do have a hole in your glorious, beautiful consciousness that connects you to the mind. But the mind is shared. The mind is like a hive mind. Let's bring some Marvel into this. Is there a hive mind in any of the Marvel films? That feels like a reference to. Sorry, darling, there's a fluff on my eye. That feels like a reference to a Marvel film. But irrespective, it's not our mind. It's our connection to the collective mind. And of course, objects in our space bring up certain thoughts if you've been tracking along. And when I say that, I mean previous videos have explored this concept. Objects in our space bring up thoughts. Emotions can bring up quality of thoughts. Our very genetic structure, our DNA, can trigger a certain flavor of thought that becomes like the constant voice we hear in our head or what we default back to based on our karma, on our genetics. Trauma stored in the body can give our thoughts a very specific flavor, but they're still not all ours. What we're doing is we're just sending out a beacon. It sounds kind of like sonar or radar, but we're sending out a signature based on all these factors, and then we're receiving back an equivalent half form. The half form being something that's been or something that can be, but never the objective truth of the moment. So when we're in the mind is very much concerned with time, linear time. That's why as we move to the fifth dimension and beyond, and through the fourth, which is very relevant right now, those dimensions have a lot less of a time-centric experience going on. And they're just ways of perceiving. So you can run a fifth dimension program. There are individuals doing this right now. And they kind of walk the line. You may not see or hear from them very often, but they exist. They have an avatar being held for them in the third dimension. The truth is, we all have a version of ourselves on every dimensional plane, just so you know. But you can run a fifth dimensional program as you access these different layers of consciousness. But let's bring it back. We took a little reader detour there. We're coming back. You know you're in the mental realm when you're judging the things around you. It's very insidious is a word, but it's not so evil. It's not evil. It's just it's low key. It happens and we don't even realize it's happening. But we're judging. If we're in the middle of an action, we're usually judging ourselves. For example, am I doing this right? Am I doing this well? And what I am saying is what I am saying. Help. Is what I am saying making sense? Is it good? Or is it bad? Am I having the desired effect? That's if we're like in an action, usually. If we're still, or if the moment is not objectively about us, we're a bystander, or we're walking into a social gathering, or we're assessing something that we don't identify with, like our workplace, for instance, for many of us, then the judgments are about that. They're outward projected versus inward projected. It's like, ooh, everyone looks like they're in a bad mood today. This place is not clean. I don't like this. Oh, so we bounce back to the self there. But then we get back into it. When it comes to the social gathering, oh, she is fine. Or that person looks interesting. Or why are they here? And all of these things revolve around a judgment. Each of the thoughts, interesting is good. Why are they here? Bad. That person's fine. Good. The mind is constantly trying to get us the on-paper version of life that is good. That is how you know you are in the mind. And to develop the ability to hear these thoughts clearly, may I make the recommendation for a mindfulness practice or a meditation practice of any kind. Not necessary, though, Spirit says. Then there's experiencing the present moment through the heart. The experience of experiencing the present moment from the heart. You will know if you're doing it when you are keenly interested without needing to make the moment relevant to your future or to your past. Present moment awareness is the most powerful magic trick on this earth. It will unlock your divinity for you in ways that we will get to, actually. Just got the word. But for now, Spirit is really hammering this one home. Present moment awareness from a heart-centered place is where the divine would like our energy to be centered as a collective right now. What it feels like, using the same examples. If you enter a workplace, and I do have a fluff making a resurgence on my left eyelash. Do you see it? I feel it. But it is not to be seen. And that's kind of relevant. That's completely relevant. So in the moments where you have heart-centered presence, there's no judgment going on. You walk into the workplace. You feel the earth under your feet. You are interested in making eye contact with your coworkers and just beaming some love to them. It's not about assessing their mood to see if it's a good day or a bad day. Once again, all these insidious, sneaky ways that the mind has of getting back in there and going, how can I control this? When you're in that heart-centered place, your cup runneth over, if that makes sense. Bloop, 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 bloop. It's bubbling. So you walk into the workplace, you feel the earth under your feet. You're not assessing the cleanliness or the details, even if that's part of your job description. I've had jobs where the job is you walk in and you assess, is the place clean or is the place dirty? There's a way to do this through heart-centered presence. You can make observations without making judgments. So you walk in and you may observe your coworker is crestfallen, and you can take them aside and ask what's wrong. You can assess the cleanliness of the place in an observation. Okay, it looks like the job was done the night before. Excellent. Or okay, there's some work to do. Then you can take an action on it. But there's no attachment to the judgment of whether this is good or bad. Maybe there will even have to be disciplinary action taken by you in the workplace that day or toward you. And yet, heart-centered presence doesn't judge that as good or bad because it knows that that good or bad judgment will suck you back into the realm of half forms and take your power away. When our awareness is in our minds, not directed toward the mind to watch it, but in it, buying into the story, going along with whatever it says, believing thoughts to be truth. What's happening is the mental realm is juicing us for that energy, and it's not a bad thing. The mental realm is alive, just like the heart-centered realm is. But we've, again, created an entire world based off of life through the mind. That's where we are right now. Spirit's asking us to take the next step in our evolution. That's going to be life lived through the heart. Right now, it's a lot less populated in the heart realms by human consciousness. But believe you me, there are the consciousnesses of other intelligences, of human beings. The human beings who are there in the heart-centered realm right now are fully identified with the divinity that lives in them versus identified with the form that they navigate this life experience through. So their support and their presence in that realm is so extra powerful that it is the energetic equivalent, even more so than the countless millions whose awareness is constantly plugged into the realm of mind. So if you're thinking of it from a population perspective, we could say 98%, just pulled that one out of the good place, but it is true. 98% of humanity, when I say it is true, take the feeling of the sentiment, but don't write that down anywhere. Because I didn't conduct empirical data on that. The majority of humans are surrendered their awareness to the realm of mind. Woo! And by population, most of humanity is up there in the realm of mind. That's also another reason why the realm of mind is so busy. Can you believe there was a time when the realm of mind was empty? No one was living in there. Historically, yes, before humans developed the ability to get into the realm of mind. Before they evolved the hardware, one might say, or was it evolved, to access the realm of mind. It was very quiet in there. Well, other beings were there, but humanity, as far as humanity was concerned, very quiet. Now it's the most populated realm for humanity as far as our awareness goes. We're all in the realm of mind. It's all distraction and entertainment because we're trying to get away from the third dimension. And Spirit's saying, hey, the third dimension is actually awesome, and it will take on some even more delicious flavoring when we shift our awareness from that mental realm into the realm of heart, which experiences everything fully, integrates the moment without judging it, and without worrying about how is the present moment going to relate to my future. Now, for the mind, this is like a repulsive concept, and I fully understand that firsthand, as a matter of fact. Because then my high-achieving, beautiful souls pop their heads in and say, wait a second. If I'm not mapping out my plan to live well, in however that means to me, who's going to do it? Is my heart going to do it? Am I just going to walk around on this earth and let shit happen to me and bricks fall on my head and stay at my shitty job forever if I just accept everything the way it is? If I don't have ambition and I don't decide what I want to experience, all this surrendering shit is not going to do anything for me. How do you want to address that one, Spirit? Because that is so relatable. That is so relatable. The Spirit says it's a beautiful thing. First of all, Spirit loves the ambition and the projective masculine yang energy, which is what that is. I must go forth and conquer. And if I don't make the decisions, I don't decide the roadmap, nobody will. And Spirit's all about that. That's beautiful. And you can do that, beautiful soul. Just know that in cultivating a life run by the mind, it will never satisfy the heart. And Spirit's saying your awareness is craving the heart. That's why you're here right now. Oh. That's why you landed right here, right now, darling. Your awareness is craving a heart-centered experience. It's the next stage in our evolution. So just as whatever iteration of humankind at one point evolved from no mind, no connection to the realm of mind, to suddenly being able to access that realm. And then, wing, the world we have around us right now appeared. Obviously, over the course of linear time, that took a minute. But here we are. Now, the collective is ready for the next leap, evolutionarily speaking. This is part of our, get science on the phone. This is part of our evolution as a species. The collective has decided what hath God wrought. What the mind has created is not working for any of us. And the only ones it's working for are those who are still learning the mental realms, who are still getting a thrill from being part of the mental realms. And that's okay. Let it work for them. If that's you, beautiful soul, do it. Go do it. Make that mental realm juicy and robust. Bring your gorgeous awareness in there and just shine it up, polish it up. Give us some on-paper deliverables. We talked about that in another episode, deliverables. However, for those who are looking around at a realm created by mind, which is all about predicting the future. The mind is very much about control. It is about math. It is about this plus this equals this, and I need to understand it before I do it. The mind is bringing in analysis, logic, all of which are valuable. But those are the things that have created the world in which we sit right now. So again, for those who don't like the world that's been created, or it's not that they don't like it, but they're ready to see what's next, that's where the heart-centered journey is coming in. So to answer the question of the individual who is saying, well, then how do I just then surrender logic and analysis and let my feelings take over? Like, that sounds a very bad idea. In fact, it could be particularly scarring for those of us who have dipped a toe in the heart to see like what's going on in there while letting 50% of our awareness still remain in the mind. What happens when we do that is we're like, okay, I'm experimenting with a heart-based presence right now. I'm feeling my feelings. Wow, they feel like shit. And then the mind gets in there and starts judging. Yeah, that does feel like shit, doesn't it? And now we're going to have to work that out for 30 years in therapy, aren't we? And now there's all this work to be done because, you actually don't like the life you're living. And do you really want to do all that work? And then we quickly we're back out. Okay, close the door. Don't want to look at that. Back to the realm of mind we go. And we will continue to do this dance, Spirit says. This is how we do it, evidently. It's very right hand dominant. But we'll continue to do this dance until every soul in the collective has gotten tired of it. And eventually the entire collective will move to heart-centered awareness. That is just the way it's gonna be. So do with that what you will, baby. Do with that what you will. Have fun with it. Again, Spirit does not look down on the mental experience whatsoever. Spirit's just saying, for those in the collective that are ready for the next experience, hi. It's in the heart. It's in the heart. So here we go. Heart-centered experience. Wow, we're trying to answer your question. We're getting back there. It does not mean you surrender up everything and just say, heck it. Screw it. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, I hate my boss, but I'll just keep staying at this job because, love, man. Is that love, or is it love? I don't know. Hopefully I didn't just do something explicit. Love, man. And I'll just keep living with and supporting my family members who don't work because love, man. And I'll just stay in this relationship that really has come to my attention does not work for me because love, man. That is not what happens in heart-centered awareness. And Spirit would like me to really iterate, if that is in fact a word, really state that the heart-centered experience, if there's one judgment that we can make about it using the mind, since that's the whole holdup here anyway, is that the mind is like, I refuse to surrender. Quick, let's judge the experience. Yep, looks like it's going to be bad. I'm out. If there's one judgment we can make, Spirit will allow it to be this one. When looking at the value of the heart-centered experience and how far it will take you in your life, third dimensional or otherwise, it is superior to the mind. So put that in your pipe and puff, puff, puff. Not only will it satisfy all of your ego's requirements, a life lived via the heart, it will give you something much more valuable. Again, if we're judging this, which we are for this very present moment, for the sake of the mind's understanding. And what that valuable thing is power. And what Spirit wants to make very clear is that living in the realm of mind is actually child's play compared to the realm of heart. Living in the realm of mind doesn't actually give power. Technically, it removes power. It removes power because when our awareness is living in our head, we've plugged into a collective mental realm of everybody's thoughts. which depletes our true identity. It depletes our creativity. It depletes our authenticity. It depletes our vitality. That's a lot. Living in the realm of heart, the door to the heart isn't like the realm of mind. The door to the heart connects to more energy. It connects directly to the divine. It connects directly to the source. There's no lens or filter between it and source. Whereas with the mind, it is a huge lens of judgments. So you're not getting straight to source. You're getting a filtered version of source. When you go through the heart, you're connecting straight to the divine. It's actually like being plugged into something that is giving you vitality, creativity, authenticity, ingenuity, all these incredible things that make you more you, and ultimately outline and reveal why spirit chose for your form to even come into the manifest reality to begin with. I'm sorry, face. You're a good face. It's all in the heart in terms of the whys. The mind can't really answer questions. It can provide more hypotheses, but it can't give truth. It can give a lot of foreshadowings and maybes, and it can give a lot of projections. In your mind, you can outline 1,000 possibilities of what's going to happen tomorrow, maybe even 2,000. And one will be true because you followed a logical trail all the way there. But it was never a guarantee, if that makes sense. You had to assemble pieces. You had to construct something. You had to expend energy. In order to make the mind work for you, the mental realm work for you, it's a constant expenditure of energy. It's a constant giving away your vitality. And it takes a toll on the body. Making the mind works for you takes a toll on the metabolism, the nervous system. It physically can do all kinds of things to the form because it's pulling energy out of the cells of the body, sucking it away and surrendering it to the mental realm. Pew, 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 take this. So we have these amazing thinkers in our midst, these amazing logicians who can logic things, figure things out, but they are living in the realm of mind almost to a visible degree because half of their vitality is offloaded to the cloud. Half of their presence or more offloaded to the cloud. So they're not having a full 3D physical experience, which is precisely the reason that we came here to have the experience and to have it fully. So for those who are walking the fence in terms of, I don't really want to give up a life in which I'm connected to the mental realm, you'll always have access to the mental realm, my love. That's not what you're giving up. You're not actually giving up anything. Spirit says to go into the realm of heart is just to gain. It's purely to gain. There is no giving up of anything. You're not giving away your power, you're gaining your power. You're not giving away your autonomy, you're gaining your autonomy. You're not giving up your identity, you're gaining your real identity. But what does it mean in practical terms? I hear someone and I'm saying, thank you for the question. Thank you. What does it mean in practical terms, Spirit? What about the job you hate? What about the relationship you hate? What then are you expected to do? And again, this is a question from the mental realm. So all of these questions that arise are once again the mental realm reaching through the portal and saying, I don't like that. How do we continue to control everything if we're living in this state of supposed surrender? So Spirit's going to break it down. By bringing your awareness into the heart center and practicing doing this every day, Spirit's recommendation is that time currently spent on entertainment and distraction, at least a small part of that time, because there's nothing wrong with those things. But again, if you're interested in having the heart-centered experience, Spirit asks that you have the heart-centered experience. Take it beyond a curiosity. Set some time to do it daily. Some call this meditation. We don't have to call it that. Set a timer on the phone, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, of sitting and practicing the act of existing without judging whether it's good or bad. When the 10-minute timer goes off, you can dive back into the world of entertainment and distraction, back into the mind, I mean. You can dive into it. But Spirit is stating that practice will be required to get into this heart-centered place. Because our nervous systems, our forms, are now so wired to operate through the lens of the mental realm. We're not even having a 3D experience. We're having an experience almost completely in the mind. This is why memory is suffering. This is why mental health is suffering. This is why everything you do and don't love about this reality. But Spirit's saying not quite on the do. Spirit's saying if you look closely, the things you love most about this reality are the only parts of your life where you're tapping into the heart. The only parts of life where you're actually living through the heart-centered realm. So take that and run. Run with it. Run with it as your motivation. Practice will be required. Practice will be required. This is another reason why breath work is very valuable. Breath work closes the gaping hole in our consciousness that is basically floodgates for information from the realm of mind to flood our consciousness. Breath work gives our nervous system the power back, kind of like strength training for our form, to close those floodgates and for a moment be insulated from all of that chatter, all of that feedback. Think of it like pop-ups. Oh man, is this a throwback? Pop-ups on computers. We all have this virus called the mental realm, and the pop-ups are flooding our consciousness. Flooding. Breath work, always linked in the description box below, as a daily practice, gives your nervous system the ability to close the floodgates again, get rid of the virus. No more pop-ups unless you ask. So, once we've practiced being in the heart-centered realm, we realize that there is a form of living 3D life that does not require mental decision making. It does not require judgments. It works on the basis of familiarity with the feeling of peace and the feeling of love. That is why daily practice is imperative. Spirit says that as you practice meditation and breath work, and if those words are like the biggest boner killer ever, or turn off rather, we will rephrase. Daily practice of spending time in the heart-based realm of simply existing without judging yourself for existing. Non-action. You just sit and exist without judging yourself for existing. As you do this, you build a familiarity with peace, with love, with bliss. That familiarity that you're building is you depositing more and more energy into the heart center. Now remember, you only have 100% of your energy. You can't have more, you can't have less. The question is, where is it at any given time? Right now, 100% is pretty much in the mental realms. As you practice this, though, you're taking back percentages. Ooh, we just deposited 5%. Ooh, we just deposited 10%. Ooh, we just deposited 15%. And as you move your energy into that realm every day with practice, you become more and more familiar with a feeling of peace, a feeling of bliss. You're like, oh, I recognize this is my heart talking right now. You'll be in daily life and you'll begin to recognize, when I say this, I feel peace. When I don't say this, no peace. Okay. Maybe I'm going to say that a little bit more. Interesting. It's observances, it's not judgments. You're in your relationship. You realize, when I'm with this person, I feel immense peace. I'm going to be with this person. When you're with others, you don't feel that peace. You realize that you have to move all your energy back into the realm of mind in order to relate to them. You then start to instinctively move toward the peace. And the more time you spend in the practice, the more time you devote to developing a relationship with peace, love, and bliss, which are all right here in the heart center at any given moment, the more you recognize their cues. And it's like follow the leader in your daily life. It's no longer a matter of making decisions. It's no longer a matter of planning things out. It's no longer a matter of your 2-year, 5-year, or 10-year plan. It's no longer a matter of anything but micro adjustments in your days. Micro adjustments which begin to become macro changes to your life. You will have micro inspirations which you immediately recognize the beacon of peace in that inspiration. Maybe you'll be at your job just tuning into that feeling of bliss and love that's in your heart, and boom, you have an inspiration. When you get home, you act on it. You will also notice by spending more and more time in this realm of heart, your energy, your amount of physical energy increases. Again, those beautiful, gorgeous souls of us who spend most of our time in the mental realm are constantly exhausted. Or on the other hand, we're manic. We're wired up with a degree of energy that doesn't even allow us to sleep. It's in part because there are a couple of different types of personalities, energy types that reside in the mental realms. One of them is the one who gives away their power to the mental realm, and the other is up there snatching it. So some of us in the mental realm have too much. Some of us have too little. All of us in the heart-centered realm have a degree of energy with a completely different flavor. It's like comparing yerba mate to caffeine. Maybe. I don't know. I don't drink yerba mate. It's like comparing like an endorphin that arises naturally to an artificially induced high. It's just a different quality of energy, and when you're in your heart center, it's the cleanest, purest source of energy that you could hope for. So when you get home and you act on that micro inspiration, which might have just been to write one word down on a sticky note and plaster it next to your bed, if you act on that micro inspiration, suddenly that peace increases further. And you know that you've just made a move in the direction of your heart. Spirit says it's a language beyond language. It's all about feeling. It's all about navigating. And in truth, you could think of it as a shift to feminine energy. You could think of the realm of mind as a very masculine, projective place to be, and the realm of heart as a very receptive, feminine place to be. And we have overdosed now, at this current time in history, on the mental realm. It's not going to go away. You're not going to lose it. My thinkers who love to think and who get all of your kicks from thinking, have no fear, beautiful soul. It will be there for you. But I promise once you take a little hit off of this realm of heart, you might not be craving that realm of mind so much anymore. And as we rebalance our energies and shift into this realm of heart, Spirit says at first it will look like that feminine energy, that receptive quietude, because rebalancing that energy within each of ourselves as a collective is required right now. But in time, this place in our heart holds portals to both masculine and feminine. And the world that is created as a result of individuals living from this space is one of perfect balance. It's not one that's tipped to the feminine or tipped to the masculine. But for so many of us individuals in the collective, it will feel like a shift into feminine energy, because that is dormant within us right now, because we've been so focused in the mental realms, which are all about what can I do and how can I control. What can I do and how can I control? Even passivity is an act of manipulation and control in the realm of mind. It's a means to an end. And the realm of mind is all about a means to an end. And it served us beautifully. But the heart is about infinity. The heart is about divinity, and the heart is about understanding more than language and more than logic can convey. And if that is a mind blower, good. Good. There is life beyond the mind. Do you believe in life beyond the mind? Yeah, you're going to. You will. And if you think, using the mind, about moments in the past that you have loved most, Spirit says that's where the nuggets of the heart have been sown. So you're not going to miss anything when you surrender a mind-based life and jump into that portal of the heart. You won't miss a thing. You will gain, only get bigger. That is where we are leaving it today, beautiful soul. My goodness, it has been an honor and a pleasure to spend this time with you. Thank you so much for listening and learning and communing and sharing in the energy exchange. I receive just as much as I give in these moments, and it is an absolute honor and privilege to be here, being here with a being, glorious being like you. If you loved it, please show that love in all of the ways that YouTube allows. That vibe with you, naturally. Only the ones that vibe. Only the ones that tickle the heart. And until we meet again, I am sending you all the love I've got. Bye for now.